Welcome to Real Estate Talk with your host, Ken Sachs. This show is created for you, the consumer. Our goal is to empower you with information and education, thereby giving you the tools needed to make informed decisions when it comes to real estate.
Well, welcome back, folks. I am Ken Sachs, and I'm your host of Real Estate Talk. And I, once again, appreciate you being here. We've got, again, another really great show. And what I like about this show is something that I do about this time every year, this being the holidays. And it's, why list? Why should I list my home during the holidays? So with us today, we have Craig Hudkins and Tanya Tyler with Keller Williams Spokane. So Craig and Tanya, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, and Craig and Tanya are both real estate brokers and well-versed in this topic. And I think it's going to be a really interesting show. And, of course, one that, folks, you can go back and listen to again and again because this doesn't really change. I mean, each year we get the same pushback from sellers. They need to sell. They want to sell. But wait, let's wait until spring. So let's talk about that and see if that really makes sense. So, again, welcome to the show, you guys. So I'm a seller, and why the heck should I list now in winter?
I'm going to say one thing.
Okay.
Less competition.
Less competition.
There are less houses right now. Everybody's waiting until the spring. So why would you not take advantage of all the buyers that we have? There's tons of buyers out there right now looking for a home. Your home might be perfect for it.
So there's actually buyers running around right now in the holiday season that need to buy?
Yes, tons.
Motivated buyers.
Yeah.
Like someone that's shopping for homes this time of the year has to buy.
That's exactly right. And that's something that I talk to sellers about. Who's going to be out in the snow, in the slush, when it's cold, looking at homes?
Motivated buyers.
Those that need to buy a house.
Yes.
The people that are serious, that are needing or wanting a home, and sometimes they're looking for a good deal, but they're just looking for a home, and why not do it now?
That's right. That's right. They need to buy, you guys. And if you are my sellers, they're almost qualified simply by showing up. Right?
Yep.
So let's remember that. So the first is they need to buy, and I want to talk a little more about competition because you said competition.
Yes.
And you're spot on, but I'm a seller.
Okay.
And I'm still trying to be convinced, and I don't know exactly what you mean. Competition, how does that impact me as a seller?
So we're going to set your price accordingly of what's going on with the comps around the neighborhood. If there's not many houses, then you can actually set your price accordingly to be really good. If there's other houses, then sometimes your price might go down. So your competition is you could be the only one in your neighborhood that's up for sale.
Right.
I mean, why not take advantage of that? I was out looking today, like in the valley, there was one house in the entire valley in this whole area, probably 3 miles, that was at the price range that we're looking
Wow.
for. Competition. Boom, nothing.
Sure, and I always say, one of these days we're going to have a whiteboard here because, with a seller, I'll do all these, dots. Here's your competition, and just imagine like 20 dots, and your house is in the middle. This is spring because everybody's going to wait until spring. Do you want to compete with all these dots, and then I erase like 3/4 of them?
Exactly.
Here's your competition now, and you want the most money, shortest amount of time, least amount of headaches, which is what every seller says. When would you get that?
Well, and I think we have a pent-up demand.
Sure.
Because the market has been a seller's market now for several years.
Yes.
And I think the last numbers I saw that we only had like a 1.2 month supply of inventory.
Right.
That means if you sold off every home that was currently listed, it would only take like 5 weeks to sell. So there's been this demand that's been built up. You get a seasonal change. You get people that are going to start, I don't want to sell during Christmas month. So a lot of people are taking their homes off the market. So you're having even a less supply inventory. So really, yes, you get to shine out there. I mean, there are some towns. I mean, we have a new listing coming in Medical Lake.
Okay.
There's nothing else. It's it.
Yeah.
So every buyer that wants to buy there is going to be looking at that home.
Right. So you're right about 1.2 months inventory, and I've explained what that means on this show many times. But that's a deep seller's market. So now that's just even more by putting your house on a medical lake or in the valley where you're the only one, that 1.2 is nothing. You are like, you're it. You're basically it. So competition, I love that. Does it ever, when you're out there talking with sellers and they say, well, I'm going to wait till spring, do you ever ask, well, why? Why, Mr. and Mrs. Seller? What are their reasons for that?
I think the number one reason, you might agree with this as well, Craig, is that they love their yard. It looks so pretty in the spring. They want to show the flowers. I remember going to this lady's house up on the South Hill, and she was a master gardener, and she had all these great, beautiful flowers on the side, but we couldn't see them because it was in winter. So she said, I don't want to sell until May, because that's when everything looks beautiful. So she felt really connected to her yard, even though there was nothing in her area last year that was available.
Did she have, that she enjoys her yard so much, did she have photos of her yard?
She did, yes. And I even said, we could just show that. But for her, she just felt like, I want to show my yard. She was very compassionate about it.
I get that. You know, and that, you just reminded me of something. Like, we've been taking pictures of things around our house, you know, whether it be wildlife or gardens or whatever, so that when the day comes, when the kids move out, that we do sell our house, we're going to have photos, because maybe it will be winter. We don't know. But even if it's not winter, I think just a good takeaway for sellers, separate from this topic, is sellers, there's a day you're going to be selling. It may not be today, but all those things that are really cool around your house, or if you get wildlife, you're like, oh my God, that's so cool. Take pictures and save those pictures for when the day comes where you will sell your house. We have those pictures.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, we've been doing that over the years. Good. Okay, so competition. We have less competition. We know buyers are out there. They're qualified by simply coming in. What else? So I'm a seller. You've got my attention, but I want more.
Traveling buyers.
Okay.
Friends, family, people that normally don't come to town. They come to town and they have time.
Right, because, and I always share this story every year when we do this show, my wife and I moved here from Southern California. We came up during the holidays.
Yep.
That is when out-of-town buyers, which we're getting a lot of, because we in Spokane, we're making the news a lot lately for good reasons. That's when most people can leave their hometown and go look at homes, are during the holidays. So I love that.
The winter break. Yeah, kids are out of school and they're traveling. They're looking.
That's right. That's right. Good. So we've got less competition. We've got buyers who maybe can only look at your house during the holidays. You're starting to convince me here as a seller.
I think something that's important about that, because this last summer, most of the listings we had multiple offers on. And so there were buyers that were getting to the table kind of late in the game. They might catch a home. It may be listed on a Monday or on a Friday, and by Monday, they're already accepting an offer.
Right.
Exactly.
So people that were frustrated by that process are going to think, maybe it'll slow down a little bit during the winter. They're going to have a few more opportunities. So you're going to have buyers that are going to see an opportunity. They're only going to want to shop this time of year.
Sure. Good. Okay. So what else? What else do we have out there?
I'm going to throw another thing in to
Throw
try
it.
to convince you.
Okay.
Your house looks gorgeous in the holidays. I mean, you put stuff up in the tree, or, stuff's on the mantle. It just looks gorgeous. So I remember, like, every time I put everything up in the holiday time, I always go, oh, wish my house could look like this all year long.
Right.
Because it just looks so beautiful. I think that you could go in and you can actually use that to your advantage to sell your house. It looks gorgeous.
It's like staging. It's
Exactly.
like holiday staging.
Exactly.
Because why do we do it in our homes, right? It feels good. We like it. It gives
Smells
us that warm
good.
feeling. It smells
That
good.
tree.
Exactly.
Well, the same effect occurs when a buyer walks into your house and this is beautiful. They already feeling good about it.
Yeah.
Staging. Holiday staging. Good. I like it. I'm starting to change my opinion here. So anything else? We talked about inventory. There's less competition. So I'm standing out more than I would be in spring, right? Because everybody says they're going to wait until spring. So I don't want to be with everybody. We've talked about motivated buyers, somebody who's out this time of year fighting the weather, fighting the elements. They have to buy a house. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing that. We have the buyers who are relocating from out of town can only get away during the holidays and springtime. They're not going to be able to come out and look at your house. Love it. Anything else? What about think investors and what their CPAs are telling them to do?
Right. The
That's
end of
right.
the year. The end
Yep.
of the year.
We have to close by the end of the year. So there's an opportunity for these sellers. Anything else you can think of, you guys? We've got a few minutes left.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, I just think that the combination of all of those makes for a powerful combination. I mean, we've got time, we have motivated buyers, we've got a beautiful time of the year. We have more time because we typically don't have as much inventory that we're working with. Our buyers are motivated, so we're not, taking out people every weekend all the time. So I just think that there's a lot of things going for a seller this time of year. And what does it hurt to try?
Right. Sure.
Why wait?
Right. Any good stories from sellers or even buyers? I mean, do you hear buyers saying, "Well, let's wait. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of any pushback you might get out there in the field that might help our viewers."
I had a buyer that, and this was right before Thanksgiving, and we felt pretty safe, taking the day off, spent it with family. I get a message that morning that the home had just come on the market the day before. And she is accustomed to homes going over the weekend. And she goes, "I leave for a trip the day after Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be gone for a week. I need to get in and see this house and see if it's a good fit." And sure enough, we're there in the afternoon on Thanksgiving showing the house. So it'd be surprising, but it could happen.
Right.
Somebody may want to look at a house on Christmas, and there's nobody else looking at it.
And that buyer was very motivated.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
if you have a motivated buyer, that is just, I mean, that's key. Was the house occupied or vacant?
It was occupied.
How'd that go over?
Well, they said come in the afternoon because the owner's making her potatoes.
Yes.
So we couldn't show it in the morning, which actually was going to work out better for me. So I had to go in the afternoon and.
I'm hearing dinner. I'm hearing a second Thanksgiving. Is
Right.
I know, but it was good. No, it was a good opportunity, and I would gladly show houses on the holidays. And a couple years ago, I was actually in the process of accepting an offer on Christmas on a house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So then we just have to remember
Those-
computation of time, that would be a holiday.
Start there or day after? Wait.
Yeah, good. Hey, I'm a seller and I'm interested now. How do I get a hold of you guys?
TanyaTyler.com, easiest, or 509-230-4579.
Good. Craig?
Text or call 509-979-5338, or you can find me on Facebook at our business page, and that's Optimus Group.
Good. So I like what we've done in the short amount of time we've had, but these are just key points. They really haven't changed over the years that I've been doing this show this time of year. So this is a show, listeners and viewers, that you can go back to and when the time comes, maybe it's next year, maybe it's 2 years from now, you can come back and listen to this show, because I guarantee you, and I've talked about it on this show, you're going to have people, when your friends and family who love you and care about you and don't want you to fail, when they hear that you're going to be making a real estate decision and it's this time of year, they're going to say, "Oh, no, wait until spring." Why? Because everybody waits until spring and nobody buys homes during the winter. So I just hope this show has helped to illustrate how they're giving you advice from their heart, but they don't do this day in and day out and live it like we live it. And so, this kind of ties into another show we're going to be doing a little later on how to pick that real estate broker, the right broker. But you find that broker, a broker you trust, and then listen to them. And because you're going to get all kinds of advice from people who don't clearly understand what they're talking about, but they're going to come across as an expert. So Tanya Tyler, Craig Hudkins, thank you for being my guests on this show. Thank you for being here. And folks, I think that's the end of this show on why to sell your house during the holidays. Thank you for viewing Ken Sachs Real Estate Talk.
is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksMedia.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Ask Ken a question, recommend a guest, or hear this program again on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Spokane Talks.